In the state of Nevada, the Silver Star Casino is in dire straits, unable to attract a single soul. And since work is at a standstill, croupier Tom and the waitress Thori, they take the opportunity to hide in the warehouse and have fun. Meanwhile, the press is gathered at an event called Peace Day, which was supposed to eliminate all nuclear weapons on the planet. But the plan goes awry, and the group witnesses a massive nuclear explosion in the distance. The power goes out and comes back on, and Tom and Thori are trapped behind an electronic door. Tom tries to break down the door, but Thori scolds him, telling him to wait for help. He insists that if a manager finds them there, the house will collapse. They start arguing, and Thori throws it in his face that he's blacklisted in Las Vegas for not getting another job. Tom looks like he's about to explode, but the power comes back on time, and they escape. As Tom leaves, he sees a strange shadow at the entrance, but doesn't pay it any attention. In the main hall, they're confronted by total destruction. There is no one there, just an old woman in a wheelchair. They try to talk to her, but she doesn't respond, just keeps moving. When Thori tries to stop her from hitting something, the old woman growls and stands up, revealing sinister eyes. Out of nowhere, she attacks Thori, who manages to push her away on the first attempt. But on the second, she is thrown onto a table. Tom quickly pushes the old woman away, and Thori gets up, telling her they need to leave. The creature jumps on Tom. Then, Thori throws a card at her, but it doesn't work. Tom uses a walker to attack and kills the zombie by sticking one of its legs into her head. As they recover, they feel another presence, but it is only the Jensen, a magician's assistant. He has no idea what happened because he was in the tank, but he was the one who turned the power back on. Thori goes to the front door, while the guys check the cameras and discover that the crowd has turned into violent zombies. Outside, the victor he's on top of a truck with another survivor, surrounded by zombies. He throws the other guy as bait and runs to the casino for help. Jensen quickly opens and closes the door when he sees the zombies trying to break in. On the street, the zombies devour the man. Victor says he was trapped in the truck all day and is taken to the dressing room by Jensen to clean up. To ensure the place is safe, Tom and Thori go to the kitchen, where they find two zombies eating raw meat in the refrigerator. Thori closes the door on the can, trapping them both. Stone turn off the stove, but then they hear a noise and see zombified cook comes down the hallway. They follow him to the laundry room and sneak up to cover him with a sheet. After catching the zombie, they shove him into a washing machine and lock it. Then they sweep through the restaurant and find more zombies eating the casino food. So they lock that door too. Meanwhile, Victor wanders around the place and hears noises in the bathroom. He finds a sick woman vomiting. He tries to escape, but a zombie hand appears in the door to attack him. He struggles with the door until he hears his name, which makes the zombie flee and allows Victor to lock the place. Soon the group finds themselves in the same hallway and see a woman cries in a room where a zombie is feeding on a corpse. Tom tries to convince her to sneak out and join them, but she freezes when a monster sees her. One zombie attacks Jensen in the hallway, while another attacks the woman. Two more emerge from another room and attack Tom and the Thori. The woman ends up being killed, but the Thori reacts with a kick and, along with Tom, jumps out the window and into the pool. A zombie tries to chase them, but falls to the ground. Jensen is still fighting the creature in the hallway, until Victor appears with a fire extinguisher and beats the zombie to death. Tom climbs out of the pool, swimming, but another zombie appears behind the Thori. Luckily, she swims fast, and Tom helps her out of the water while the zombie drowns. Later, Tom climbs to the roof and sees zombies roaming the streets. He tries to use a radio, but finds no signal. Meanwhile, Thori and Jensen block the doors with furniture, and Victor drinks by the pool. At night, they dispose of the bodies and realize the zombies outside are sleeping standing up. The next day, Tom puts a plank between the window and the building next door to make a bridge. He tries to cross carefully, but the wood breaks and he falls. Luckily, he manages to hold on to the window. Over time, the crowd starts to get fed up, with only cards, drinks, and cigarettes to pass the time. Tom suggests running away to an island, since staying at the casino would mean starving. Jensen agrees, but Thori thinks it's a bad idea. Victor agrees with Thori, and she leaves angrily. Tom goes after her, and the two argue. When Thori says he's only good for drinking, Tom breaks a bottle and confronts her about her own flaws. This makes Thori say that if he has a good plan, she's willing to help. Later, Tom climbs back up to the roof and sees a convoy of trucks in the distance. He gets so excited that he drops his radio just as he's about to pick up a rescue message. He tells the gang that he lost the radio and that now they need to find a way to get the convoy's attention. Victor lights a fire inside a barrel, but it's not strong enough to be seen from afar. Then he remembers that the building across the street has a spotlight and decides to go out with Tom and Thori from the casino to look for him, while Jensen keeps watch at the door. All the zombies outside are asleep, so the trio moves cautiously to avoid attracting attention. Thori, she sees that one of the zombies is a police officer and takes the opportunity to grab his gun. The zombie reacts out of reflex, but she manages to free his hand easily. As they walk, they accidentally kick a cane, attracting the attention of a zombie who begins chasing them. Jensen sees this through the window and warns the group, who begin walking faster. When Thori sees an opportunity, she uses the axe to quickly take down the zombie. The guys find a spotlight and turn it on, but also plays music, waking all the zombies. Victor manages to turn off the sound, leaving only the light, but it was too late. The trio races to climb into a truck while the zombies chase them. Jensen throws raw meat out the window, and some zombies chase after it, but it's not enough to distract everyone. He then releases a remote-controlled car with fireworks, and the zombies follow, allowing the trio to exit the truck. But soon the car runs out of decorations, and the zombies lose interest, returning to chase them. Thori and the others hide in a car and notice that the zombies have become more aggressive. When Jensen activates the toy again, the monsters run away, and Victor takes the opportunity to get out, running over some zombies. Tom and Thori, they try to leave too, but the zombies surround them, and they hide inside a bus. While the zombies surround the bus, Victor manages to get back to the casino, and Jensen lets him in. Jensen is furious that Victor abandoned the others, but Victor yells at him and pushes him against the furniture, challenging him to come out and face the zombies. Inside the bus, Tom and Thori argue and blame each other. A hidden zombie attacks Tom and bites him. Thori responds by shooting the zombie in the head. Worried about the possibility of infection, she cuts off Tom's bitten thumb. Another zombie appears, and Thori throws his finger to distract him before shooting. Just then, the military convoy arrives and opens fire, killing half the horde while the other half escapes. The survivors head out to find the soldiers, and Tom asks how the rest of the world is, but a soldier replies that nothing is left and shoots him with his rifle. Afterwards, the soldiers use a Geiger counter to check for radiation exposure. The leader Ramsey asks for a safe place to spend the night, while a soldier brings in a zombie on a leash. Everyone heads to the casino, where the soldiers sweep the area and eliminate the zombies that have been locked up for days. Cindy, Ramsey's daughter, a doctor, gives Tom a hard time for drinking even though he was injured. While tending to his hand, she explains that the group is going to the lake Tahoe, as far away from the blast area as possible. Thori, jealous, interrupts with pointless complaints as he watches a soldier feeding the pet zombie. Ramsey ends the discussion and reminds Cindy that they can't trust anyone. Thori tries to go down a hallway and says she needs to go to the bathroom. She finds a soldier vomiting inside and gets nervous even though the woman says she's fine. Upon returning to the hall, Thori notices that most of the soldiers look sick. She comments to the Jensen and Tom that something is not right, and the Jensen agrees, but Tom doesn't care, he just wants to leave. Then Jensen sees two soldiers entering the forbidden corridor and begins to spy on them. He hears the Ramsey talking to another guy. He says they're already loading the trucks. The conversation confirms that everyone is sick. When they leave the room, Jensen runs to the kitchen. There he discovers that the soldiers have taken all the casino supplies. He heads to the garage and is shocked to see Victor helping the gang. Suddenly, the pet zombie attacks him and knocks him out of hiding. The noise draws everyone to the garage, and Jensen decides to confront the soldiers. Thori, she supports him and says everyone is infected. Cindy can't believe her father would do such a thing, But Ramsey insists he never intended to abandon anyone. When Thori accuses Victor of betrayal, he says he just wants to survive and points out that Jensen is armed. Ramsey tries to calm the situation, but upon seeing Jensen draw his gun, the soldiers shoot and kill him. Thori approaches the body, but it was just a ruse to get Jensen's gun, and so he opens fire on the soldiers. They take cover, and Thori manages to return to the casino. Ramsey warns them that they're leaving without her, and Cindy asks Tom to go with them. Before deciding, Tom reveals that he has a second pantry full of food on the other side of the restaurant. Soldiers force him to take them there. When they arrive, Tom presses the lock button. The doors open, revealing the trapped zombies, who immediately attack the soldiers. Chaos. Tom punches one of them, grabs the gun, and runs away. Soon the horde reaches the garage, and several soldiers are injured. Then Ramsey orders the trucks to leave without waiting for those left behind. In the morning, Tom confirms that there is no more food and tells Thori that they also need to leak. Thori, he thinks humanity has failed and wants to give up, but Tom observes the zombies outside and has an idea. Using a rope, he captures a zombie by the neck and leaves it hanging from the window. This way, Thori manages to grab its keys before Tom lets go and falls to his death. Then they go to the garage and try to figure out which car the keys belong to. A zombie grabs Tom's ankle from under a car, and he reacts by shooting. The shot sets off the car alarm and attracts the zombies. Then the pair begin shooting. Thori tries to hide in a car, but a zombie pokes its head through the roof. When she opens the door to escape, she ends up hitting another creature. Using the alarm key fob, Tom and Thori finally find the right car and get out in no time. Unfortunately, the front gate is locked and they don't know the code. Thori suggests driving through, but they only manage to crash into the gate. She tries several codes, but Tom shoots the machine. With more zombies arriving, they run to hide in the stairwell. At night, on the roof, after drinking heavily, Tom and Thori try to make out, but their moment is interrupted by a car horn. They look down at the street and Cindy is returning in a truck, but she's startled by a zombie on the street and ends up crashing the vehicle. Luckily, she survives, but zombies begin to surround the truck. When a creature reaches the window, she shoots it immediately. Then, she starts shooting at those who try to approach, causing the horde to hesitate. At that moment, Tom arrives inside a giant casino decoration and manages to bring her inside without any zombies following. A few minutes later, the pair are back at the casino and Thori points a gun at Cindy, accusing her of being infected. Cindy explains that none of the soldiers were infected, just suffering from the effects of radiation. They all died when the convoy was attacked by a horde of zombies that became stronger and faster. Cindy only survived because Ramsey hid it in the trunk. Out of nowhere, hear a zombie knocking on the door with an axe. Cindy warns that stronger zombies are coming. Thori blames her for it and starts cursing her before running to the roof, where he has a nervous breakdown and starts cough. Meanwhile, Tom and Cindy are drinking together. Tom confesses that years ago, he killed his pregnant wife while driving drunk. In return, she reveals she has a daughter, but doesn't know if she survived because she lives with her father in Carson City. Tom decides they'll go there to look for the girl. After sleeping, Thori goes through Cindy's bag and finds 2 bombs that she steals. The next morning, Tom wakes up to find a zombie in his room. They fight on the floor until Cindy appears with a knife and stabs the monster in the head. Then the two climb to the roof and see stronger zombies have arrived and are devouring the weaker ones. They run to the entrance, where Thori tries to keep the door closed. She suggests using the bombs. Tom opens all the gas lines in the kitchen, and Cindy begins preparing the explosives, which will take a minute. Thori grab an axe and run ahead to gain time. When the Cindy ends, she and Tom try to reach the Thori, but they find zombies blocking the way and have to go down another corridor. To get to the stairs, he had to pass through the dining room, where there are also zombies. They hide behind a table. Out of nowhere, a creature drags the Cindy by the legs and tries to bite her, but she grabs a piece of wood and stabs it in the head with Tom's help. Another zombie approaches, and the pair runs to escape down the stairs. As Cindy descends, a zombie grabs her by the hair, and she accidentally hits Tom. Eventually, the zombie lets go of Cindy, but she falls and breaks her leg. Thori appears, tells them both to duck, and kills the zombie behind them. Tom helps Cindy walk and mentions Carson City, which makes her Thori freak out, saying that Cindy will delay them and won't even get to see her daughter. Since Tom doesn't listen, Thori hits them both with the axe and leaves alone. In the garage, she shoots a zombie and sets the explosives on the gate. Before she can move away, another enemy jumps on her and bites off her lip. The bomb on the gate explodes, and Thori is seriously injured, allowing the zombies to swarm over her. Cindy wakes Tom, and they run to hide in the storage room moments before the kitchen bomb also explodes, destroying almost the entire building. Luckily, the pair survive and reach the garage, where they take the car and escape through the hole opened by the explosion in the gate. Among the creatures in the street, one Thori zombified prepares to chase them, thus ending Remain, a 2011 film. If you liked the video, leave a like and consider subscribing so you don't miss the next summaries.